Assassin's Creed is officially out, so I'm now finally allowed to talk about it. I hope you enjoyed my review and my couple of pre-release videos, but now let's get stuck into what you've all come to love and expect from my channel, guides. I've got 12 juicy beginner tips for you today that I've lovingly put together after my 70 hours of time with the game so far, with a plethora of additional, more advanced gameplay guides coming out in the coming days, so make sure you are subscribed to Dom's Roundtable and let's jump into the first tip. Firstly, do not neglect side activities when you come across them. These are things like Kujikiri for Naue and Kata for Yasuke. Every single one of the ready orange icons you see on your map will reward you with a knowledge point. These are the side activities I was just talking about, and you need knowledge points to increase your knowledge rank, which will in turn allow you to unlock more and more powerful skills for your characters that you can spend your mastery points on. And if you aren't doing these activities, eventually you will build up too many mastery points and you won't be able to spend them because you won't have enough knowledge, which means you have effectively soft capped yourself and you won't be able to level up your character anymore until you level up your knowledge. So always prioritize this. Don't let that scare you. You will still be building up mastery points and your character's level will still increase, but you won't be able to spend them points because you haven't earned enough knowledge to unlock the skills yet. So focus side activities, level up your knowledge rank, and you'll then be able to master everything and become an absolutely invincible killing machine. Next up, my friends, do not try to scale every single mountain in the game and take the most direct route to your objectives. As the devs have said a few times, they have been very specific about what you can and can't climb in this game to add a bit of realism and add a bit more strategy and choice to how you approach situations. And for this reason, it will take you far longer trying to brute force mountains than if you just stick to the road, jump on your horse, and follow the Pathfinder. After all, the area of Japan in which we play is insanely mountainous, with some very treacherous terrain that is completely unclimbable. And even though you probably could brute force most of the mountains eventually, you'll end up having an incredibly stressful time stuck deep in huge, dense forests with zero visibility, constantly sliding back down, trying to figure out where to go. So do yourself a favor, place a marker, get on the road, jump on your horse, set the Pathfinder, and just chill out, following the route set for you as you enjoy the beautiful scenery. Next up, once you unlock Yasuke, don't forget that both characters level up simultaneously. This goes for both their character level and their mastery points, and there are two main reasons why this is so important to never forget. Firstly, don't forget to spend their mastery points. Do not let them build up to the point where you've got like 20 or 30 unspent points on your lesser used character like I did, because you'll wonder why the game has suddenly become significantly harder, and it's because your mastery points are just as game changing as your gear, giving you huge boosts to stats when you hit certain thresholds and unlocking some very powerful abilities. I have got a full build guide coming out for both characters soon if you would like to know where best to spend your points. But don't worry about spending them inefficiently at first, because you can respec and it's free and you can do it whenever you like. And the second and perhaps more important reason for this tip is because at certain points in the story, you will have to play as both characters. So if you've been neglecting one of them and all their gear is still level 1, you are potentially going to softlock yourself again. So make sure that you are regularly checking and upgrading your gear for both characters so you continue to have the best time possible. For the next tip, I talked about following the roads for your objectives earlier, and there is another very valuable reason for doing this, and that is helping peasants. This manifests in a variety of ways, saving them from being slaughtered by bandits, protecting them from the corruption and extortion of soldiers, or even just being a shoulder to cry on. And once you have saved said peasant, you can then talk to them and ask for one of two rewards. Firstly, if you currently do not have full scout charges, I'll be talking about scouts in depth shortly, then you can request that they replenish a charge for you by becoming a temporary scout. However, even if this option is available, never take it. Please never take it. as you can replenish scout charges yourself by spending a very, very small amount of money, and throughout the game you'll be gaining tens of thousands of mon, so you do not need this free additional charge. So yes, the other option is World Intel, and this will be taken automatically if your scouts are already full anyway, or you can select it manually if you have both choices available to you. And what World Intel will do is it will have them show you a previously hidden location on your map. And it's one of only 2 foolproof ways to uncover all the secrets in the game. This could be an undiscovered quest, a fast travel point, a legendary chest, genuinely anything. It's very, very powerful. So go ahead and save peasants and use them for World Intel. And following smoothly on from that last point, I mentioned that this was one of the 2 foolproof ways to uncover all the secrets. The next one is getting the most out of your Kakurega. The Kakurega is a safe house that you will discover as you explore the world, acting as a network of secondary hideouts for you and your allies. It requires a small payment to unlock one once you have found it, and then you can use it for all manner of things, such as checking your storage, stowing equipment, refilling supplies, refreshing your scouts, as I mentioned earlier, managing your allies, and browsing all 4 types of contracts, which will provide you differing rewards and resources. And one of these types of contracts is the ability to discover hidden locations. So the long and short of this tip is when you do find a new Kakurega, make sure you go to your map and spend the money to unlock it, because they're very valuable. Not only do they act as fast travel, but they will allow you to do pretty much every single thing that your main hideout allows you to do. Very, very powerful mechanic. And especially make sure that you are interacting with your contracts and picking up them additional side quests, because they're going to help you unlock all of the secrets that Assassin's Creed Shadows has to offer. Next up, let's talk a bit more about scouts and how to make the most out of them. Scouts can be used for 3 things. Their primary purpose is to help you with investigation missions. So certain quests, I say certain quests, probably like 85% of quests, will ask you to track down a specific person or location, and you'll be given a few clues. You then need to look on your world map, and following them clues, you can commit a scout to a specific area, and they will instantly report back to you and tell you whether they have found the thing you sent them to scout. The more scouts you send, the bigger the area you search. However, if you know the map pretty well, you can almost always get away with just sending the 1 scout. Another important use for scouts, and a reason you want to go and replenish your scouts to make sure you always have maximum if possible, is because they can be used to smuggle stockpiles of resources out of wealthy areas such as castles. It is heartbreaking clearing out a castle, finding loads of resources that can be smuggled out, and then realizing you've spent all of your scout charges already. So before you go to a big area like this, go to a Kakurega, replenish your scouts, then you can go and gobble up all them juicy resources. Also, scouts will replenish automatically at the end of a season for free, all of your charges. I'll talk about seasons later on in the video, just wanted to let you know that that is a thing. And the third and final use for scouts is any unused scouts at the end of a season will automatically go and gather you a small amount of resources, so they haven't gone completely to waste, and you can then collect them resources at your chest here in your hideout. Next up, we'll talk about the power of the observe mechanic. This is different to Noway's Eagle Vision, which I'll talk about in her specific dedicated guide video. Observe can be used by both of the main characters, and this makes investigations 100 times easier than the game makes out that they are when you first start playing. So as I say, you've picked up a quest, you have determined where the location of that quest is, you've sent a scout there, they have narrowed down the search area for you. Now you still need to go there and track down the specific person or item or building that you're looking for. And this is where observe comes in. All you need to do is go to that general vicinity and hold down L2 or LT, and you will see a little blue icon. The blue icons always denote something quest related. boom, that's it, job done. You've now investigated the area, you have successfully used Observe, and you've now found out where to go for your next quest. It really is as simple as that. Observe is very powerful. It will show you all loot, it will allow you to highlight enemies, it will narrow down quests for you. Very, very powerful. And with Now Way in a combat situation, if you combine it with Eagle Vision, you can pretty much instantly highlight every single enemy throughout the entire camp because it allows you to see through walls. So yes, get used to using Observe frequently, it's very powerful, and it will save you a hell of a lot of time that you would otherwise be wandering around aimlessly trying to find things. Another mechanic that it is easy to ignore / forget because you're just enjoying the gameplay so much is going back frequently and upgrading your hideout. There are a lot of powerful things your hideout can do for you if you go and upgrade your buildings. There are 5 main buildings to upgrade that you can see here in your quest log, but there are a bunch of extra secondary buildings as well, such as when you eventually build a gallery, you can then apply multiple loadouts to your characters. So a lot of unassuming secondary buildings are actually really powerful also, but the 2 that I advise you upgrade as soon as possible is going to be your stables and your study. This will allow you to send out more scouts and make more use of your scouts. For example, getting your stables up to level 2 is going to mean that you only need 1 scout charge to smuggle resources rather than 2, which is a huge difference when you only get 5 or 6 usually anyway. Please do also note that early game your hideout resources are quite limited, so be very picky and choosy with which buildings you want to upgrade, but don't hoard your resources. Do them upgrades, please, because it's going to help you progress significantly faster and with a lot less pain than if you're just hoarding them all and waiting to be able to upgrade them all at once, like I know some people will probably try and do. This next tip is hugely important if you opted to do a non-canon run of the game and you're making all the decisions yourself. I am talking about the allies you can collect throughout your journey. Some of them are incredibly powerful, all of them will help you in some way, shape or form. You can summon some to literally kill your enemies for you in combat. Others will help you from the sidelines and enhance your stealth and assassination abilities. And every single side quest you can do to unlock your allies, there is a chance to fail or reject them in some way if you are not doing a canon playthrough. The options, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to scare you, the options are usually pretty obvious to get the allies to join you, but if you aren't playing with your choices turned off, doing a canon run, and you're making all the decisions yourself through an RPG run, just pay a little bit of care and attention to people who you think may become allies, because it's very important to recruit them all if you want to get the full experience, and just because some of them are totally badass. Next up, I spoke about it a few times throughout the video. Of course, we're talking about seasons and season changes. So you want to leverage these to your advantage. I've already told you that a season change will refresh scouts. It will also add new contracts and special hidden quests to the Kakurega. So try and make sure you've completed all your contracts before the season refresh so you can grab a fresh batch. But there is a bunch of other really important things that seasons do. Certain quests can literally only be completed during certain seasons. Certain NPCs will only show up in the winter or only show up in the spring, and there are other dramatic gameplay changes. Obviously, as I've said, a season change will refresh your scouts for free for you, you'll collect all your resources, but there will also be certain gameplay advantages, such as taller grass and shallower ponds to hide in during the summer, or snowstorms to muffle your steps in the winter. And your 2 different characters will perform better in certain seasons. Yasuke is much better in the winter because thick, heavy snow and certain weather effects won't slow him down. He's a big tank of a man and he can just run through it, doesn't bother him at all. However, Naoe's running speed will be dramatically reduced because she struggles to wade through the ponds and the thick snow. So you definitely want to pay attention to what the season is and play accordingly to your strengths. Next up, as we move into the penultimate tip, let's talk about merchants. Merchants are really powerful. You do not want to neglect buying and selling things at merchants. So firstly, eventually in the late game, you will start to get an abundance of resources, both upgrade materials for your weapons and armor, and upgrade materials for your hideout buildings themselves. So start to sell off huge chunks of these. You don't need to hoard thousands and thousands. I'd say probably around 1500 of each as a maximum. The rest you can sell. This is where a lot of your mon is going to come from, as long as you've been doing your contracts, and this will allow you to then buy all of the juicy things I'm just about to talk about. So you always want to go and check every single merchant, check them throughout multiple seasons, and check them as both characters, because their stock will replenish and change accordingly. And not only can you buy lots of cool cosmetics and blueprints for your hideout, such as new buildings, trees, shrines, lanterns, just everything, but also certain merchants have specific quest items. So if you find a tea set or a painting set or something like that, always buy them. They are unique items. They will be specifically in a quest tab, and you will know that you need them for a quest at some point in the game. Buy them now, because it's an absolute nightmare to find a merchant with a quest item, not pick it up because you know you don't need it now, and then forget where that merchant is. It's an absolute bugger. So if you see one of these quest items and you don't have enough money, go and sell some unused equipment or materials or something, because you definitely want to go and buy that item now so you don't forget where it is when you need it later. And finally, my friends, Assassin's Creed Shadows is an enormous game. It's going to take you well over 100 hours if you want to 100% it. And it's not a race, it's a marathon. Don't get yourself burned out. Honestly, this tip is to take your time and enjoy the hell out of the game. And if you do start to struggle, or if you're not sure where to go, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, because I will do as spoiler-free as possible guides. Obviously, some guides are going to require some element of spoiling. But I'm going to be doing loads of guides through various aspects of the game to help you make the most out of it and have the most fun. And I will be taking the tedium out of the game for you, so you can get on with enjoying more of what you want out of the game, while I do the legwork and the boring research for you. So subscribe to the channel and just take your time with the game, enjoy it, have fun, and ignore the haters, because it's a fantastic Assassin's Creed game. I do not know what people were moaning about. It's an absolutely brilliant game, and I just hope you enjoy it as much as I have been. With that, my friends, all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.